All right, welcome back, everybody. I said I would finish this game, and then I promptly didn't. So now we're gonna do that. Um, I know it's been a while, so if I need a little bit of reminder of how things work, I apologize for having to watch me fumble through it. But I believe this was
Where
the
are you
last
going,
case of the game.
Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that?
Wow,
I can't
Watson.
understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Wow.
Watson, you should be excited. It is
Chill.
a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner.
You're so mean.
Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
They're working with
Not
what they
at
got.
all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll
Coward.
hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes,
Let's
because I
go.
know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
They won't.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner. Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right?
Yeah,
It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
I'm on it. Let's go. All right. Let's do this.
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Nope. Okay, gotta go this way. It's so dark. Crime scenes.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now.
It's just me.
Mr. Holmes.
Hello.
Is that you?
Yep.
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But
Okay.
then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Do they?
Of course, Mara.
You'll
But
excuse
you
me
know
for not
that
believing you.
appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were 2 other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So 2 of the 3 of you didn't see shit.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the 2 victims slowly enter Half Moon Street. And then, shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the 2 dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by 2 police constables.
Okay.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
So you don't know shit.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
Just completely oblivious to everything.
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
We'll see.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, instant death. Gimme. Thank you.
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Plates. Stuck object. Piece of wood.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
Okay. And the other body.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant.
Yeah.
The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound.
Oof.
A tattoo from Westgate Prison.
Oh, yeah.
Vercotti must have done some time there.
That's detail work.
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Rough. Is that everything out here? Looks like it.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Well, you did what you could in getting me.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes.
Yep.
Are you that detective gentleman?
Indeedy,
I've heard of
indeedy.
you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we
Good.
hear
I
your
want to
story?
know. Examine you first. Battle class, balaclava, Crimean War veteran. Missing buttons, poor life. You just keep cycling. Requires support, weak leg, limping. Okay. So you're
Could
not
you tell
loaded.
us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw two bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
But the police said your room was dark and no one was at the window.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the two shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner,
So was the first one
what were
muffled
your
in some way
actions
and then it
after you
broke?
stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Okay. Mr. Turner stated that he remained at the window of his flat until the police arrived. However, this is in conflict with Marrow's statement, as the constable did not see anyone at the window. Exactly.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
Yeah.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Right there. Fire, ashes, burnt paper.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here. These words are illegible.
Okay.
The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Sir.
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims. The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
All right.
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
How do you know that? I guess he told us, but the board book on the nightstand there. Can't read the newspapers? Mwah. Stop walking, weirdo.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
As good knives are.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Would you chop up, sir?
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
That one. From the bed. Open the window. Approach the body. Placed a broken stick and took something. Cut papers with knife. Threw something into the fire. Slow. Let's go. Took something, marched upstairs, knocked over a bunch of books and put a stick down, chopped up a book, threw it in the fire.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Books, fat prints.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look. Well now, what a find. A precious jewel.
I still don't think he had anything to do with it, though. Because he just seems to me like a poor man who took an opportunity. I still don't understand why the cop didn't run after him.
With a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
All right, now you're gonna have to explain some stuff, sir.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Time can pull tricks on you.
Be honest
And
now,
what
please.
of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
No, you didn't.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then, and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Obviously, it muddies the waters a lot, but I do really believe that he just stole the thing. Guess we'll find out, but... Okay. Now tuck to the flower cellar.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Well, tell me
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
It's weird that no one heard the gunshots except for the guy in the apartment.
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
All right. So we did everything we could here.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Can I talk to you again?
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
All right. Now to Scotland Yard.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
I don't know, you guys are stupid all
Who
the time.
knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
All right. Give me that evidence.
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Easy enough.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. 2 out of the 6 shells. So this...
No.
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
An apple?
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
Okay. I could hear the contrast between fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. First a single shot was fired, and then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly after. Third, I could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots as they were made from different points of Half Moon Street. I'm more inclined towards this one. Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti were the victims of a double murder carried out by one person. The others, do these go together? The witness testimonies and the crime weapon clearly point to one possible culprit, Leighton Chapman. Okay. All right. Now, let me talk to him.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down,
That's what we're here to
Leighton.
find out.
I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
In the
Oh,
flesh.
blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Will you, though? Nobody ever seems to. Deep scar, occasional fights, grew up on the streets. Recent beating, resisted arrest, hot-headed. Fancy scarf, downtown job. What? Office? I'm not sure. Downtown fashion, cushy job. Westgate prison tattoo, past imprisonment, committed a crime.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So it couldn't have been the second witness, because he can't move that fast.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes.
Revenge.
I was just being brave and stupid.
The tattoos.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
He's a pretty decent voice actor.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Not uncommon.
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
I will do my best to help. The violent crime committed in Half Moon Street by Leighton Chapman could have had a personal motive. Imaginary man, the person whom Leighton Chapman describes in his statement as a figment of his own imagination, created to vindicate himself. Why would he do that? Alright, investigate the ancient bracelet. There's a possible crossfire between Gareth Butler and Brian Vercotti. Okay, so I can go back to Half Moon Street, or I can investigate the bracelet. We're gonna do the latter. Let's go. Okay. Research. I think it's chemistry, poisons and toxins, wounds and injuries, criminalistics, martial arts, marks and symbols. Maybe, but papers. Now those sound right. Art and architecture could be right. Antique art? Yeah. He's right, that one right there. These beautiful antique jewels represent a part of the Hellenistic treasures collection. Depicted are the 5 heads of mountain rams upon a bracelet, necklace, and ring, each made of pure gold. 5 rams of Mytilene have been missing from the museum since 1885.
Here it is.
Got it.
I need to continue my research in my archives.
Okay. We are still in the archives, so 1885, right? Hellenistic treasures stolen. A treacherous theft. The Hellenistic treasures were stolen yesterday evening while being transported by cab on their way from the British Museum to the Glassford Fine Art Exhibition. Pawnshop owner Kenneth Butler contacted Scotland Yard that night and provided information regarding a gentleman who had attempted to sell him a collection of historical art at his pawnshop in Church Street. The police have since captured the described man, a professional thief by the name of Vincent Foley, who had been in the process of escaping London via the port. He was recognized by the surviving driver of the cab that had transported the collection of Hellenistic treasures. Vincent Foley refused to confess as to where the remainder of the treasures were hidden. He was eventually imprisoned. The last treasures are still to be found.
Here it is.
All right.
One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures.
I think he still had them when he called the cops.
Should tell me more.
Let's go. I like that Watson always just looks like he's dissociating because same dude. Just stay back there, I guess. Bye. Music. Ballard's Pint. Butler's Pawn Shop.
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock. Perfect.
Right.
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
Interesting. I guess that was the only thing of interest.
A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor.
This isn't as big of a pawn shop as I would have, like as big and fancy of a pawn shop as I would have guessed from the newspaper article. Maybe it's pretty common of the time, I don't know. Naughty boy.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 Rams of Mytilene collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
It's finally safe enough to sell it, huh? Hello, Kenneth. I remember you once told me about 3 pieces of golden jewelry with ram heads from ancient Greece. You still got them, right? Well, good news for you. I found a man loaded with money who's crazy about those jewels. He's ready to fork out a small fortune. I can arrange a meeting with this money bag for you, but I want you to cut me in on the deal. I'll be waiting for you at the crossing of Great Alley and Half Moon Street on Sunday evening before the fireworks. Brian Vercotti. Okay.
It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations.
Can I read it? Nope, not right now, I guess. burglary motive. The search for the missing Hellenistic treasures could be the motive for the crime that was committed in Half Moon Street. Mr. Turner picked up the bracelet directly after the murder, but the ring is still missing. More of these go together. I think so. Alright. I think that's everything. I already looked at those.
Crampon.
Okay. Alright, so I guess we'll go back to Half Moon Street for a reenactment. Great Ale Street. Oh, Alley Street. Haha. Oh,
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
Mr.
I'm
Holmes.
waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Wow. Fuck you. Wiggins, you okay?
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Why is that here? Already did all the examining, right? Pretty sure.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Me too, bud. One of the victims possibly fired his gun twice. Find out who it might have been. Pretty sure it was... Ooh. Well, you look like you have a gun in your hand. I guess both of you do. Is there a bullet up there? Can I see it? Oh, there was something.
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find
the pole.
something to lift my lamp. This should be useful.
Okay.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh.
Great.
Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti both died of crossfire, with each of them holding a gun. One of the guns is now missing. Missing stuff. That's definitely what seems to be happening to me. Did I find it already? What?
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr.
Where
Holmes.
did I go?
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
How come nobody mentioned you?
Such a young man, and already a murderer.
Chapman's statement regarding the jacketed man who disappeared at Half Moon Street now seems reasonable, as the 3 shots at the crime scene prove the presence of a second gun that is now missing. Constable Merrill and find out if it would have been possible to miss someone hiding in the shadows of Half Moon Street at the time of the crime. Okay. Back to Half Moon Street, since I misunderstood and I didn't do the deduction first. I think that's everything I could have connected, right? Yeah. Don't mind me, I didn't just travel across the city twice. It's fine.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
What do you
People
mean
like
by
me?
that?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
Wow.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
Wow.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
God, you're a nightmare. Why are you a dick to this kid every single time? Because you're a policeman, obviously.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
I'm playing a game of hide and seek now, huh? Oh, I'm playing as the constable now.
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to
Slowest and weirdest game of hide and seek. Third time's the charm.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
Did they hide in the street, though? If we can assume that there was one more person in Half Moon Street at the time of the crime, then there was no way forward or back for his escape, only up. Let us reenact the action, recreate the fireworks described by Layton, and attempt to climb the wall. Okay. Find the flare gun and climbing equipment. I know where they are! Gimme.
These tools are exactly what I need to climb the wall. This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
He did say he got blinded for a bit. You gonna be mean to the little boy again? Yep.
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Sassy child. Like, I support, but also careful that he doesn't take it out on you.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I
That's
am
what
going
I'm
to
here to
be
show
the
you.
mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can.
Okay, there's this wall, or this wall.
This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
Let's try it. Did it work?
I can barely see anything. Holmes? Are you there?
You'll never catch me. I don't know how you're not hearing my...
My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes,
Watson's freaked out.
where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
Don't fall. Okay.
This is the back door of the building with the attic floor that you required, mister.
Thanks. That was amazing. I've been kind of mad about this one, but that was fun. There's a broken window. And a coat left
It's
behind.
empty. Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste, he ripped his jacket.
And left it behind. Shabby fabric. Black threads.
A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope.
Now we get to use our lab. Leighton Chapman's statement regarding the mysterious jacketed man who participated in the shooting at Half Moon Street was proven to be true. I don't care. I know I'm right, even though they're all red. It's just because we're missing key evidence, but I'm so right. I was like, how do I get out of here? I found it. It's fine. Can I talk to you about, like, hey, ma'am, did
Such a
somebody
young
just walk
man,
out of that
and
door?
already a murderer.
You said you pay very close attention.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
So you say.
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
He's a little beaten up, but he'll be okay.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Mm-hmm. on this side.
Let us take a closer look. It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human.
Interesting.
I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Thank you.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch. Holmes.
Gonna steal some of your hair instead of my own.
One little hair. Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample.
Even the horsehair is.
The horsehair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
Interesting. Circus acrobat. The man who vanished from the crime scene at Half Moon Street could be a circus acrobat. He managed to scale a 30-foot high wall in a matter of seconds. Hair from a large exotic animal was found on his discarded jacket. He could be. Do we even know a circus acrobat, though? The person who was seen only by Leighton Chapman escaped the crime scene by climbing the wall. He was a skillful acrobat. The criminal took a gun from one of the dead bodies. Sounds right to me. Is he gonna harass Wiggins again?
Look here, lad. You'd better go home and start thinking about what a fine pickle your brother's landed himself in.
Ha! But he'll be free tonight, 'cause he's innocent.
Don't be daft, lad. It's a closed case.
Shut up, Constable.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
So you claim. Okay, let me try going back up to the attic really quick, and then we will talk to Wiggins. Not seeing anything else. So I'm not sure why. Oh.
These shards of glass are from the window above.
That literally all
We
that I
can
was missing.
conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
Okay. Okay, now it's completed. Okay, now I can talk to Wiggins.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal.
Why disposed
A very
of?
large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
Why disposed of? It's everything but the long lost art. It's gonna be an easy case to wrap up of like where's the gun and where's the ring.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Because you saw them running into the building.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers, a well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
Let's go.
Aye, you! Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
I'm a great lockpicker.
You might be surprised.
What? Nah. I don't think so. Clear off. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh? Get lost.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
So, everything is here just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight, then.
Interesting.
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentional. The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure.
Yep.
Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder. The barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry.
Interesting. Rise up and keep rising from lambs
From
into
lambs
lions.
into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance.
Maybe we need some of that, huh?
That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people. This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls.
Okay.
Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on a table over there. Open that.
He has a gun. Now the question is it the stolen one, or is it one he already had? Complex key, protected safe. He's got a bullet wound. Bloody bandages, recent trauma. Bulldog revolver, cut throat. Ring with ram head. That tells me everything I need to know. Taped fingers, agility practice, acrobat. Methodical man. Gather 26 character portraits. Hey. Got it. Somehow. Okay.
I need to find out what's behind this Charles Foley. I need to...
Man in jacket. Charles Foley wears an antique ring, the last missing piece of the 5 rams of Mytilene jewel set, and also a revolver retained under his belt. It proves that Charles Foley is our mysterious jacketed man who nimbly escaped the crime scene at Half Moon Street. Okay, but what do I do? I got the lock opened. So what do you want from me? I can't talk to him again. Oh, now I can. Sure.
Oh. Well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
Door key, jailed thief, Turner's contradiction, Turner's limp, antique bracelet. Ooh. I don't know. Vincent Foley, who committed the infamous robbery of the Hellenistic treasures, was in prison 10 years ago. Treasures have remained undiscovered to this day. Vincent Foley, okay. So it's gotta be the... Oh, shoot.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you.
Picked the wrong thing.
How'd you hear about me?
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died. 7 days ago, in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool.
Int it.
Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on a corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
Interesting. Interesting. Let's go! Find and examine the secret lock at Notting Hill Manor.
Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures. This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge.
Okay. Yay!
I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it. This cupboard is an absolute mess. Several books have fallen from the shelves.
Does
It
slide?
seems as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try.
Hey.
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
Okay. That continues up here, down there. Perfect. That one was the easiest one yet. Ooh, a second keyhole.
What a surprise. Another lock. And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out.
Let's go. I did want
Let us
to check out the
the
rest of the house,
thieves'
but-
possible
okay.
escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. A solid rope. This should be useful.
To like block the door?
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. The door is now blocked.
Excellent.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police.
How about this bookcase? Can I move it?
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. This works very well. No one will escape through this window now.
You realize you're trapping yourself inside of the building with criminals who have no way of escape. Good for you, Sherlock, but also, this is so stupid.
Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. This should be useful.
Should it?
Although this window is high above the ground,
Yeah.
it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape.
Can't get over to that one. Okay. Tripwire?
One step on these beads, and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
Is there any other way? Oop.
There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out.
So if they go around and the door blocked, so they...
The door is now blocked. This door is... This should be useful. This hatch leads to a cellar. This hatch...
Well, it's not the rope I just picked up, apparently.
I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached. I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful. Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall.
Those silliest booby traps.
Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly. If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down. I recall that precious... These are the marks of ineffectual lock-picking attempts.
Okay. The carpet will cover
This
the
should be
hole.
useful.
The hatch.
Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor.
Pulling
I should
some
walk carefully,
Home Alone
else my
nonsense
plan
here.
will be ruined. Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared.
Good.
I can leave now, but I'll return
Haunted House,
later
catch the thieves at
with
Notting Hill
Charles
Manor.
Foley and his companions.
All right. Let's watch this nonsense.
Police! Police!
I hope he's not dead. I hope none of them are dead.
Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
Oh, you sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
Yep.
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How do you know about that?
Hello.
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here?
Mycroft.
Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men?
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers.
Yeah, well.
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
I am much better
Nothing
than the
but
coppers.
trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Oh, I guess there is one more case. The Merry Men or whatever. Maybe. Hidden art. The antiques discovered inside the hidden safe of the abandoned manor at Notting Hill represent the collection of Hellenistic treasures that were stolen in 1885 and considered to be lost. Charles Foley organized the theft of the Hellenistic treasures, which was related to the double murder at Half Moon Street. Leighton Chapman was a witness to the crime. Charles Foley will be imprisoned for organizing a grand theft. Since he is not directly guilty of murder, his sentence will be shortened. He was guilty, though. Charles Foley organized and executed a wicked plan of revenge with the added theft of ancient and valuable treasures. He deserves the rope.
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful. You Scotland Yard dog.
Bite me.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
All right, what are we doing here?
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Oh,
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected.
this isn't timely
We
at
are
all
not
or
only from the
anything.
British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No lives shall be lost, but ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without
not that
letting the rulers
easy.
dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people? Sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing
Listen,
the
I
song of the
came
merry
here
men.
for fun,
Will you let us do our duty?
not to be slapped in the face with all of this. God damn it. Ah! I would do this, but I don't feel like it fits Sherlock. He's obey the law at all costs.
When people fight the order, they are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos. I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
I hope they actually ran. I hope Sherlock ran. Ugh. Okay. I have to say about that choice, I very much was a... I sympathize with the burn it all down kind of people. I've had those periods in my life too, and I can definitely see why people are getting to that point in today's environment. However, there's a very good case to be made that burning it all down is not actually going to do anything to those people you want to hurt. They are well insulated, they have contingency plans, they are already hoarding all of the resources. The people who get burned when you burn it all down are those that we need to most protect. So I completely sympathize with their sentiment. I don't think they've thought through the the consequences of the actions they wanted to take. I came here for fun.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite, lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding
Really?
it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing.
Bite me,
A
Mycroft.
country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft.
Bite
Not I,
me,
not
Mycroft.
Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You
That's your own
created
problem.
the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Bite me.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Sherlock's like, no. Charles Foley organized and executed a wicked plan of revenge for his elder brother. It took 2 human lives and almost resulted in life imprisonment for an innocent man. In fact, his band was hired by the Merry Men, who planned a revolution in London. In addition, he organized the theft of ancient and valuable treasures that rightfully belonged to the British Museum. He deserves the rope. Yes, I got it right. Okay. Yes. I don't know if this ever loads. Personality ranking law protector. I never guess. 6 correct conclusions for all 6 cases. Good. I didn't get a chance to read the other 2, but we did it. There is not another case, but God, what a note to end on, huh? Ugh. Good game, though. Well constructed, fun to play. I like to give games their flowers and let the credits play because these people worked really hard and they deserve their accolades. All right. So that was Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishment. I have some other Sherlock games to play. I have a few games on my docket that I'd like to get into. So I plan to do that in future Let's Plays. So hope you guys stick around and have fun. Bye.